You're up late. I just feel like gaming for mid. I have to be up in the morning. Can't sleep in like I normally do as somebody who's self-employed. I had to be up to get my groceries being delivered. Can't be on for too long. I just felt like just gaming for a bit. Relax. They're gonna be here anywhere from 9 to 11. They normally show up, I do this every month. I've been doing this since the pandemic. groceries online. They usually show up early. It's almost never like 11. So I had to make sure I'm up. You guys are up late. Go to bed. Go to bed. It's like what my grandma used to say when I was a kid. Go to bed, go to bed, everybody go to bed. You guys need to go to bed. I'm not doing anything interesting. Just gaming before I go to bed. You're up late. Go to bed. Get your ass to bed, dude. Both of you. Go to bed. I wasn't expecting anybody to come by. I'm just like, I just felt like playing for a bit. Apparently everybody else that watches me is also an insomniac. Night owls. Well, I'll tell you the real the secondary reason is there's no good streams on right now, and usually I watch like speedrun streams and stuff to help me go to bed because, you know, I have clinical anxiety and shit. It's hard for me to go to bed. I need to have something like on to help my mind just calm down enough to get rest. There's nothing on right now, so I'm like, log on. So being sick will do that to you. Especially if you're somebody who's, you know, contributing to society like you do. Or you have to be up to do these things and suddenly you don't anymore. It's quite the adjustment. I don't know, I'm self-employed, so I don't, like, have to get up at a specific time. Mostly just when I have adult shit to do, like, I gotta be up for my groceries. It's definitely not something you want to rush, dude. You need to listen to what your body's telling you. I don't know, our society gives us such unhealthy working standards. I want you to be working like all the time. It's like eventually it starts to really wear you down. They're giving you time off. As long as you can afford it, you should be resting. Are you doing like quarantine or what? I don't know exactly what it is, what the protocol is for that kind of thing. I've been working from home for ages, so I don't really know a lot about that stuff. A kitty sitting job is essentially self-employed. Sure, the instant, immediate lack of stimulation is hard. I had to tell my dad about that. He called me. He's an artist. He's been working on stuff, and he said, like, I guess he was doing something, and he just felt tired when he got back. I'm like, well, you know, I go to nerd cons, and that's a very common thing there. Because you're around constant stimulation. And then you get home and it's back to mundane life, like nothing's happening. You kind of have to worm your way back into your routine, and it makes you really tired, regardless of how high energy you are. It's always going to be an adjustment. Yeah, and a lot of it's not even from being there, it's just like, you don't have anything to amp you up anymore. You've been tired for however long that con or event or tournament or whatever has been going. But you have the stimulation of just being around, like, way more people than you would be normally. That shit keeps you awake. That's why I always, when I go up there, I have friends that live up there still, and I stay overnight. Like the night that it closes, I stay at my friend's house for a night because I make that trip by myself. Like I go up there by myself, unless my buddy Dan takes me. He actually comes in here sometimes. He's a mod in here. Last year before the pandemic, he took me up there and back, but normally I go up there by myself. I always, just for my safety, since I take the train up there, I always have someone house me for a day. Because it's like a good 6 hours. California is so big. Getting from here to San Jose on the train takes like 5-6 hours. Like, I don't want to make that trip on fresh con fatigue. I don't have anybody there to wake me up or anything, so I have to make sure that I can make all those decisions myself. There's train switches involved too. You have to transfer once to get up there. So there's like never really a safe time to sleep. Yeah, it's very common to lose weight. If you lose weight at cons, it doesn't matter how badly you eat. But, you know, a lot of people like gorge on food and stuff, especially if there's like really good joints nearby. It actually is very common to lose weight going to cons because you're still burning off way more than you eat. Like, it's not uncommon for people to lose like a couple pounds. It's not going to be like appearance changing or anything, but you generally do come out of there lighter. It's because of how much you're walking. Especially the one I go to because like that con center, they have like they don't really have the whole airplane food thing going on. You know, the venue is so far away from civilization that they can charge you like $30 for a shitty hamburger. Like a bad burger or like the dry pizza or something. They can't do that there because there's like it's in downtown San Jose and there's a lot of places to eat nearby. There's a burrito place like just down the street. There's a Jack in the Box. There's like a bunch of places to eat. And parking is a nightmare because it's downtown San Jose. So pretty common even for people that drive there. You're going to be walking to get your food. Grocery stores, I don't know, probably like a mile walk or so. They actually have a really good venue for that convention, I must say. I don't know, the thing about cons is they're really boring if you don't have friends. Cons are dreadfully boring if you don't have friends there. You run out of things to do. I mean, I really only go to that con for my friends. There's like... my interests are too niche. Yeah, I like tokusatsu and like action games and stuff like that. That con does not really accommodate me much at all. They have had a couple things I like though. I go to their tokusatsu gathering. I go to they had Dynasty Warriors gatherings there a couple years. Sometimes there's a Tales gathering, but most of it is like I don't even know what the hell anime that they're doing. A lot of the really popular stuff, they have a lot of that there, and I'm like, I'm not really terribly interested in this. I can really only go for my friends. With my friends, I'll just spontaneously stop going, which I mean, in a way, is kind of what the pandemic has done. I wouldn't go. There are like more, there are like more niche focused ones. Like there's Power Morphicon. I would love to go to that. I think I'd really like that. That would be more up my alley. It's like stuff that they have at that con I go to. It's like 10% of it I care about. It's just like the game room is open 24 hours, so that's really nice. Um, they do have a Tokusatsu gathering every Saturday, and I always take photos there. That's always really fun. But that's like the only gathering I go to. And keep in mind, it's a very, very small gathering. Like you're looking at like the popular shonen stuff. You know, whatever's popular at the time, like Naruto or Bleach or mainstream weeb stuff. There's like a lot more people. Final Fantasy is another one as well. Pokemon is massive, of course, but like the Tokusatsu gathering is like maybe like 50 people peak. They're in the front by the fountain. There's like a small group of people. Like there's a couple people actually in the suits. A lot of people do civilian cosplays. The thing about that cosplay community is that the main people that make those suits, they're in Indonesia, and they have like a massive backlog. So it's also really complicated to get those suits because they have to be fit to your, uh, your waist size and stuff, so that you can put the spandex on and everything. The helmet as well has to be catered to whatever your head is like. So you have all that. That's a problem, and then the fact that the main cosplay company that does it, they're all the way in Indonesia, and they have like a massive backlog. And then of course the cost as well. But I mean, a lot of the cosplays, the store bought stuff is really expensive. It's just for that kind of thing. There's like a lot of barriers of entry. They have like a backlog, and the convention is in May. It's like, well, you have to have that shit before, or else you're gonna go there and you're not gonna be able to hang out with the other people. So it's always very small, a lot less accessible. Power Morphicon, a lot of the people they show up in costume. I think that con's pretty cool from what I've seen. I haven't ever been to it myself, despite living in the same state. But that barely means anything because I'm in California, some fucking massive state. It's not like when I grew up in New Jersey. If there was like they had that con in New Jersey, I could probably could have gotten my grandparents to drive me there. California, nope. Keep in mind, I'm in Central California. I'm not in SoCal. Well, technically I am, but like getting up to San Jose, the train is like 6 hours. I've really wanted to go to that con. That's more aligned with my interest. There's also one in NorCal. It's like an arcade one. I wanted to go to that one too. It's called California Extreme or something. Like they just have a bunch of shmups and arcade games there and stuff. Like that's more up my alley. Yeah, going to cons by yourself it's really boring. A lot of the stimulation is gone. Hanging out with your friends and stuff. Because those big cons, they have to try to like accommodate everybody. There's like I've met people there that like just hang out in the game room. I for the most part, I'm one of those people. If I have people I'm hanging out with, I go do stuff with them. But the game room is 24 hours, and people play like poverty fighting games in there and shit. It's really fun. I mean, there's even like board games. There's Jenga. It's not just video games and stuff. But like the ones that are more like around like a specific interest or hobby, I think those are a lot more fun to go to. But it's also harder to justify because you're not going to have anybody going there, but um, people that are into that stuff. Your friends probably don't want to go to Power Morphicon because they're not into Toku, so have like a lot less people to hang out with. Yeah. I've been to Evo a couple times. I actually don't like that. I don't like that event. A lot of people say it's like it's not even a good tournament anymore. It's it's a convention cosplaying as a fighting game tournament, and the tournament's not run very well either. The thing about Evo is it's in Vegas, so if you're into the party, you're into partying or gambling, nightlife, then it's worth going, I guess. But I'm a straight edge. I don't do any of that stuff, so I never really got much of it out of it being there, besides just things cost more. I think the fact that it's in Vegas is like the saving grace of that event for a lot of people. The tournament's not run very well. It's very crowded. The heat is it's like going through the microwave part of Metal Gear Solid 4. The heat is terrible. Like you feel like you're going to like melt just like walking down the strip to go get something to eat. It doesn't have much going for it unless you're into the Vegas stuff, but I never really saw the appeal of like I'm gonna go pay a bunch to go to this tournament and then gamble and not win anything because it's Vegas and the odds are massively against you. It's like go to the tournament, get drunk and not remember anything, and then gamble and not win anything, and then deal with fucking like 500-degree weather. I just never really liked it there much. Yeah, I went there. I went there 3 times. There's better fighting game events to go to. Especially if you don't care about any of that stuff. Like you actually want to be there to like meet people and play poverty games and shit. There's lots of better fighting game events than that. That's for sure. A lot of people skipped Evo for Combo Breaker because Combo Breaker is 24 hours. They had tournaments and stuff for like the most like jank poverty fighting games, which is kind of shit I'm into. Yeah, Evo really does suck. A lot of people, I don't know how many people they're going to get to come back to it because like the tournament is run very poorly. It really I've actually kind of seen it become more of a convention because it didn't used to be like that. I went to the first one that they had in Vegas. That was '05. That was the very first one they had in Vegas, and it was a train wreck. But like then it was still very gaming focused. They didn't have a lot of connections with the game companies and stuff, so there wasn't anything being announced there. It was a very small, much smaller venue, but the venue was shit because there was no food nearby. You couldn't. There was nothing in walking distance. But yeah, cons are boring. They really are boring. It's the people that makes it interesting. Unless you're going to something like specifically towards geared towards your interest, like most cons I mentioned, like Power Morphicon or California Extreme. Like, I'd love to go to those. Because it'd be none of the stuff that I'm not interested in. It'd just be, like-minded people, and it's smaller, and, it's very focused towards what I like. Big cons are basically just, they have to try to accommodate everybody. It's not gonna be the best for anything. It's like a jack of all trades kind of situation. Let's see, what do I feel like playing next? I don't recommend going to Evo at all. I really think watching it online is a better experience. We'll see how this new one is run, because the guy that was running it got canceled because some video of him doing some shady stuff got leaked or something. He got canned. Maybe it will be run better, but I never really entered the tournaments there in the first place. I just went to just be around fighting game stuff. But I don't really play fighting games that much anymore. I really only play Grid. No reason for me to go. Oops. Didn't mean to do that.
Let's see.
How to get back. I uninstalled some mods, so I'm trying to get back. You do that in this game.
Recipe at home.
I installed a mod that gives you more abilities. because I don't care about playing this game authentically. I've never really been big on Kingdom Hearts. I pretty much just played the main 3. I didn't really touch any of the other ones. I tried them, but I didn't like them. I tried Birth by Sleep, and I thought that game was dreadful. The combat was agonizing. Am I going to stream more DFO? Probably not. I don't know, after they put out that event with their roadmap, and they said that you couldn't sell raids anymore, I lost interest in playing completely. Because I don't like the raids in the first place, and I like that somebody in the chat right now was carrying me through that stuff. So I could just enjoy the single-player content, but they don't want you to do that anymore, so... Pretty sure I'm checked out of that game. Which sucks, but that seems to be what they're doing. Who knows if they will actually go through with that. I think there's been a pretty big backlash towards it. It's possible they might backpedal, but it sure doesn't seem like it. Seems like they're doubling down on that, and a lot of people don't like it. Because those raids are boring and they're toxic. And not everybody wants to do them. I kind of wish that they would kind of realize that. Like, not everybody who plays your game is, they're not interested in being, like, a world first clear, or having a character that can one-shot everything. Some people just want to play the game because it's fun. And I feel like they're really starting to gatekeep that, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. As somebody who's been playing that game for a long time. I was fine with everything else. But I'm not doing the raids. They stress me out and they make me anxious. And I don't play video games to be anxious. I already have clinical anxiety. I legit have to watch... I have to watch how much stuff stresses me out. I don't know, I can't be sold on that. It really pisses me off, actually. I feel like they just don't care. The game is already so old. Not gonna be a lot of new people playing it. I feel like they're trying to get new people into it, but it's just too late. Like, that's just the reality of it. Like, it's an old game. You can't expect people to keep playing it. Interests change. People grow up, get older, have families and shit.
Find some ingredients around here. Yeah! So long! See ya! Try this!
There's better people to watch for DFO content anyway. You don't need me. I was enjoying playing the game again, but those changes really made me less interested. DFO's community is very toxic. There's a lot of elitism. That's why I stopped playing it, because now they're forcing me to engage with those people because they don't want you to sell raids anymore. And that takes me out of the equation pretty much. It really does. I'm not interested in interacting with those people at all. The DFO has fun gameplay. It hasn't aged particularly well, especially since it's more about damage than anything else these days, but it still was fun. I liked getting the gear, I like leveling up the characters and stuff, but then they force you into those raids, and that's where the scum of that community is just generally just unpleasant people. I just don't want to deal with it. That's gonna piss off a lot of people though, because it's like when you get to the point where you can sell raids, like your character is essentially self-sufficient. Meaning they're making way more money than you could as a free player who's not at that level. Like, that was part of the reward. That was part of the reward. It's like, well, I've really optimized this character. I can clear this raid by myself. And now I can make money from other people. And when you take that away, I feel like it makes a lot of the progression hollow. Because DFO, it sucks making money in that game. It really is just like, either you sell raids, you sell carries of some sort, or you buy loot boxes, or you buy packages. Making money without doing any of those three things is basically impossible. And I think it was cool how, like, one of the rewards of investing in the game, be it money, time, or both, was that, well, you can sell the raids to other people. People who don't want to do them, or don't like them, or their computer's not good enough to do them, like, whatever the reason was for them not wanting to engage with that content, you had that option. I don't know, how exactly are they going to get rid of the raid carries? That's what I don't understand. Like, what exactly are they doing to stop people from selling? Because I'm not entirely clear. I think it's a stupid move. I think they should not do that because that's always been a part. That's always been a part of the game. It's always been a part of the game selling. And it was nice because it's like, I mean, you kind of have to spend money to get to that point, right? Funding the gear and the reinforcement and stuff, like, you have to spend real money on the game to do that. It's just not possible to get a character up to that level and have enough money to fund them to get to that point. It was kind of like you kind of think of it as like a rebate. It was like a refund or a rebate, I guess you could call it. Like, you invested a lot into this game, money and time, and now you can carry other people, and spending money on the game is, like, not as necessary. At least not for character power. I mean, for costumes and stuff, sure. I think taking that away is basically like flipping everybody off who's played that game. Got to that point. I never got to that point, so it doesn't bother me.
I'm the
3, 2, 1, fight!
present for you.
SPD, emergency! Are you up to the task?
Damn, his team is dirty.
Over here. For you. Out of the way. Out of sight. Over here. Follow my lead. Here's the finale. See how we dance? Follow my lead. Time for finale.
All time. Light fire. Magical source, mystic force.
Ooh, nice.
Slipstream. I got next. Over here. Slipstream. Out of sight. Every fraud has his day.
The only thing that would get me to come back is that thing they're saying where they're going to make the game less about just doing 8 billion damage, make it more like a beat 'em up again. I might come back for that, but the fact that I can't get through the content I don't like with all the toxic people by getting carries anymore. That kind of counteracts it, in my opinion. At least for me.
Is the battle within.
Sure, there are other people that agree with me too, but like, that game is just fun to play, but getting into all that stuff just it sucks the fun out of it.
Defender of the gal. Is this all you've got?
Community doesn't do it any favors either.
You have looked. Honto!
Fuck.
Present for you.
Honto! Hadouken!
Shall we dance? Follow my lead. Here's the finale. Shall we dance? Follow my lead. Here's the finale.
So they want the game to not be fun to play. They want it to be more of an endless grind. Alright.
I was itching for a good fight. Thanks.
I'm not down.
Next time, let's make it a great one.
That's always the problem with that game, though, is people called it homework. That's an actual term in that game in the communities. It's homework. Having to go on the game and do shit that feels like a job. Why would you take that away? Like, I thought they were supposed to be reducing the homework. You know, KOF, they fixed it, but they are changing it back. Well, fuck that. I mean, you guys have seen me do the homework on KOF All-Star. It takes like 15 minutes. It takes like no time at all. Like, really the only time I play that game is over at my neighbor's house, and I'm over there kitty sitting. Like, that game does not eat up a lot of my time. It does not consume my life. And I like that about it.
Power protect you all. Honto!
Release the power.
Honto! You're not supposed to be. Honto!
Follow my lead. Here's the finale.
Yeah, exactly. The thing that doesn't make any sense, I've talked about this before, a bit on this topic, but
That's
like,
how we do it.
the game is
Ranger
old.
style.
There's not going to be that many new people coming in. If anything, you need to be You need to be catering to the veterans. The game looks old. It is old. It's older than, like, everything else on the market right now that's still active, besides, like, World of Warcraft. Like, there's not going to be that many new people playing it. That's just a reality. Every service game is like that. People hop on the bandwagon to new stuff, but, like, old games, there's always, like, the fear that the game's going to shut down. Or that it's too hard to get into. So it's like, why are you trying to get new people when the game is 16 years old? Like, it's just like, realistically, that's not going to happen. Not at a large enough scale to warrant pissing off the people that have been playing for years. Like, it's just not going to happen. No game can do that. Even World of Warcraft, like, that game, people subscribe for the expansions and then unsub. They stop playing. Like, there's not as many people that are actually, like, active playing, like, every day. And that game is fucking ancient, too. Like, there's not gonna be that many new people. I don't know. It's weird to do it that late in the lifespan. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the game is too old to make changes that drastic. And it's not even really going to have much of an impact on their earnings or, like, new people playing. Because the game is so old. You know, it feels like... You know what it feels like? It feels like those reality TV stars that get, like, a ton of plastic surgery to look younger, but then they look like mutants because they've had so much fillers and shit. That's kind of what it feels like what they're trying to do with DFO. They're trying to make it look younger, but, like, everybody knows the game's old. It looks old. It is old. The game is still fun, yes, but it's ancient, and, like, with video games, it always gets to the point where, like, new people aren't going to come in. That's why they make, like, fighting game sequels and stuff. Mortal Kombat is immensely popular, but they know that they can't make money just updating the same game. They have to make a new one. Mortal Kombat NRS games actually have, like, the shortest lifespan out of anything, actually. We only support them for, like, a year and a half. And it sucks for the people that like that particular installment, but that's just not how they run their business. People were pissed when Mortal Kombat 11 got support dropped. I'm sure some people were actually really happy. I know that game is, gameplay-wise, very divisive. Like, they made the game a lot more civilized. I don't play the Mortal Kombat games, but I can see how that would... I can see how that would be not fun. Yeah, but the point I'm getting to is that, like, even in this era of games being services, like, this one I'm playing right now, it always gets to the point where, like, new people aren't going to get into it. There's a number of reasons. The first is the graphics. A lot of people are still very shallow with why they'll play games. They need it to look really good, and DFO I think that game still looks great because it's pixel art, and I love pixel art. But even then, there's still aspects of that game that have aged like milk. Most specifically, a lot of the first batch of characters, the fighter sprite, especially the mage sprite. I've always found that sprite to be horrendous looking. It has like 10 frames of animation. And there's nothing they can do about that. Like, the sprite it has to be in the game. They're not going to redraw every avatar to make the sprite look better. Then you have the problem of like, well, this game is hard to get into. Like, the game is hard to get into. People don't like that either. Because it's legit overwhelming when you play a game that's been out for a while, especially an online game, and it's like, well, you need to read through this wiki and do all this stuff meticulously. It's like, well, person who's not hardcore, they're gonna play something else. Because that's the more sane thing to do. MMOs are bandwagon games. They really are. All service games are. That's why some companies crap them out. That's why some companies crap out mobile games and stuff, because it's like people will latch onto it just because it's new and it doesn't have baggage of being from 2005. That's why stuff like World of Warcraft, they don't have that many new people coming in. Because all that baggage is legit overwhelming. Most sane people don't want their game playing time to feel like it's a job. But yeah, I know this has been long-winded, but those are the reasons why I don't want to play anymore. And also, I grew up with a mom that plays service games, so you know, I witnessed her way before I played service games. I witnessed her go through those games making stupid decisions. Like, I've been around the block with this stuff. I think I'm gonna go to bed. I gotta be up in the morning for groceries. Uh, I'm going to the game center later today. That is the plan anyway. I actually have permission to stream over there, so might see me sneak out a stream there. We'll see. Actually, let me see how this runs. Let me see how this runs before I go. Yeah, I already took my meds, and the groceries are going to be here in like 9 hours, so I should probably sleep. Let me just check this out really quick. My acid reflux is acting up.
Jesse's got a theory about it. Thinks her dad's spirit is stuck
Kitties!
between his body
I like
and
him.
the heart of the planet. So if we don't
He's
shut
the
down
best
the reactor
character.
soon,
Because he likes
You'll get
cats.
Caught up in the flow and poof.
Need to protect
so
him at
funny?
all costs.
Just that I understand how you feel. Unlike most of the time.
I see.
I think he has like a whole like hideout for the cats. I'm like, that's fucking cool,
Mako is
man.
the essence of life itself. It's not something you burn in a reactor just to keep... Oh, don't tell Jesse about this little...
Well,
he's serious, Cloud. She'll beat the
not my problem.
This guy.
Hey, it's the lot Jesse was talking about. We rendezvous here when we've got what we came for.
Gotta stay hidden. Wait for the... Just need to get past this gate.
Wait. Where are the guards?
Looks like someone beat us here.
And I don't think it was Jesse.
This had better not get in the way of our plans.
It won't.
Don't see anyone. What the hell happened?
Hey man, the plaza's that way. Warehouses are further in. Jesse's supposed to be circling around from the back, right?
No need for us to rush.
I can handle this solo.
What? You're trying to keep us out of it now?
We're in this together.
Don't expect me to save you.
If you need to check your gear, now's the time.
You can use that vending machine over there to stock up.
Guess there's a training center too. Could go a few rounds before the main event.
I don't know how lazy this port is.
I get really hungry.
Look
when
at this
I'm
icon.
nervous.
Look at the icon right by his knees. At the bottom, it says push the Y button to interact, which is common for PC ports. They just kind of assume that you're using an Xbox controller. But look at the main icon. It literally is just push triangle. They couldn't even be bothered to make a new icon. Yes, they correspond to the same button, but they literally couldn't hire somebody to make that graphic, which is ironic because on Nexus Mods, somebody already made one that replaces it. This port is just like... the fans have fixed it. They did such a poor job of it. Like, look at this. How does... They announced this at the Game Awards. There were like 1 million people watching. And they can't even hire an intern to get rid of the triangle button. Like... How does that happen? Like... Well, this was a gift. I don't know if I really count. But I spent hours fixing this port. You know what? I'm gonna pull that up right now. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Just because I think it's hilarious that they can't do it, but the modders can. As far as I know, they have not even made an announcement that they're going to fix this port. Like, if you play this game, you just kind of have to accept it. You have to mess around with mods to play it. Like, just to get it to work. Like, not even customize the gameplay or anything. Like, literally, to get the game to work. Let me pull this up right now. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Hold on. I know it's in here. Where is it? I must have missed it, but it is in here. Fix that icon. And I just find that hilarious because it's like... somebody fixed it for you. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Look at this. Just look at this. They couldn't get somebody to go in Photoshop and draw a circle with a yellow Y in it. Like... Wow. Everything wrong with the game industry right here. This picture. They couldn't even change the graphic on the UI to, like, kind of hide the fact that it's just the PS5 version, but terribly optimized. Nope, somebody had to do it for them. Likewise, the port is terrible. It stutters constantly. And you have to... now with the mods, it's fixed, but it's like... the game's been out for like 2 weeks on PC. No patch in sight. Now, I understand. I'm mature enough to know that they were stupid enough to release this during the holidays. So, people are on break, and people that worked on this game they don't deserve to be worked to death. That's a problem in the game industry. But, at the very least, you could make a tweet saying, we're aware of the issues with this port, and we're working to fix it. That's all that needs to be done. You know, it's a single-player game. You can wait for them to fix it. They have not even done that. And that right there is just what bothers me. That's what bothers me. The fact that they're selling something they know is broken, but modders have fixed it, so they feel like they don't have to do it anymore. That just pisses me off. Anyway, I'm going to bed. That's all I had for tonight. Should be at least 2 streams later today. I might do one at the game center. I'm not sure. It depends on when I get there, because my friend has to set it up for me, and he's opening. He's not closing. So I might stream over there for a bit. If not, it'll be kitty sitting a night stream. Thanks for watching.